Greetings of the day, children, and you all are invited for the virtual session of science. I hope everything is well and you all are maintaining your notebook, children. I'm very much hopeful. So, let us continue with the chapter Electric Current and its Effects. And there are so many notes shared for this chapter, so much of work done, and so many diagrams was told to you all to be drawn in the notebook. So I hope very much hopeful here you all have done all that work, and we will continue today with the chapter. Let us see what are we learning. So uses of electromagnets, as you know, in the previous session we have done the electromagnets and how they are being made, and it works on the principle of magnetic effect of electric current. So how electromagnet works and all that we have seen in the previous session, and how we can increase the strength of the electromagnet. So here we are going to see some application of electromagnets. The use is extremely important. Where are they used? Why are we are making electromagnet? Let us see here. These magnets are used in electrical appliances such as electric bell, electric fan, electric motor. Many more applications you can have, and these magnets have the utilization in electric generators where the very strong magnetic field is required. Next is used for deflecting electron beam of the picture tube of TV. Electromagnets are used. So for the deflection of the beam which is coming out, the beam of the electron which is coming out from the picture tube, you must have seen a television. Nowadays you get a very thin, it is not that broad as we used to get earlier. Three-dimensional huge television we used to get. Nowadays the size and the thickness of the television has become smaller and lesser. So then too it has a tube inside which actually emit electrons. So then the electromagnets are here helpful for their deflection and finding application in the television here. And fourth one here, for the magnetic separation of iron ores from the earthly substances, electromagnets are used. So when you want to do separation of iron from the ores which have so many other impurities, so you want to separate iron from there when you get it extracted from the nature. So that time you have so many other earthy impurities, those sand and soils, gravel and all that can be easily separated by using electromagnets, because it is going to only attract iron from the iron ore, and all the earthy impurities will be left behind. So your electromagnets will find the application, the separation of iron from the iron ores. For preparing strong permanent magnets, electromagnets are used. So when you are preparing very strong magnets, here again electromagnets are useful. I hope you are making all the points in your notebook, children. So now advantages of electromagnets over permanent magnets. So when you have permanent magnets which we get from the nature, what are the uses, what are the advantages of the electromagnets over permanent magnets? Why we need to prepare electromagnets? How are they being beneficial to us? Let us see. An electromagnet is a temporary form of the magnet because its magnetism is only for the duration of current flowing in its coil. So till you have current flowing in the coil, the iron will behave like a magnet. It will try to attract magnetic material. But as soon as you stop electric current, it will no more behave like a magnet. So we are temporarily magnetizing it. So actually an electromagnet is better than a permanent magnet in many respects. There are some of the advantages of the electromagnets over the permanent magnets, which are stated as follows. So you to write down all these points are very important. The magnetism of an electromagnet can be switched on or switched off as desired. So it is not a permanent magnet. Whenever you need the magnetism or you require magnetic field, that time you can develop that magnetic field at your own pace, while it is not possible with a permanent magnet. Next advantage is by increasing the number of turns in the coil and by increasing the current. These are the two important factors to improve the strength of the electromagnets. We can, by passing the coil passing current through the coil, an electromagnet can be made very strong. So manipulating these two factors by increasing the number of turns in the coil and by increasing the current passing through the coil, an electromagnet can be made very strong. On the other hand, a permanent magnet cannot be made so strong, because whatever available to you from the nature, we are just using it as a permanent magnet. But temporary magnet, that is electromagnets, can be modified, can be used as per our desire. So these are the advantages of the electromagnets over permanent magnets. Then electric bell, one of the very important application of electromagnets, where magnetic field is developed temporarily, and when you switch it off, the current flow stop and the magnetic field also disappear. So electric bell is a very good example of this. An electric bell work on the magnetic field of current. It has electromagnet in it. Let us study its construction and working. So you have to learn about electric bell because it's a very important application of electromagnet, and you need to learn how it is being constructed and how it works. So please take it down, children. Electric bell, construction of electric bell. So when you are using electric bell, you should know how it works. This is an important application for this chapter. So the electric bell has U-shaped electromagnet. I will show you the diagram later. There is a small iron bar called armature, which is held in front of the poles of the electromagnet. Third point over here, the lower end of the iron bar is attached to a flat spring, and the flat spring is itself fixed to a metal bracket. The upper end of the iron bar has a clapper attached to it. A metal gong is fixed near the clapper. So this is the construction part of the electric bell. I hope this is very clear with your children. You just have to write down in points so that you can remember. This is the construction part. You will be able to understand when you see the diagram. So here you see the electric bell has a U-shaped electromagnet. Here you can see a U-shaped electromagnet marked as E. Then you have, there's a small iron bar called armature, which is held in front of the poles of the electromagnet. So there's an armature over here. You can see A in front of the electromagnet. Then the lower end of the iron bar is attached to a flat spring, and the flat spring itself fixed to a metal bracket. So here you can see the iron bar is attached to a flat spring, and then it is attached to a metal bracket. You can see this in the diagram. Then the upper end of the iron bar has a clapper attached to it. Upper end of the iron bar, clapper you can see attached to it. You can find all this in this diagram. And a metal gong is fixed near the clapper. So you have a metal gong fixed near the clapper, that is B. That is you have a gong attached to it, that is not B, it is going to hit B. The gong, you can see the black dot here below B, that is the gong. So it is going to strike on the surface B actually. So below B you see the gong, that is a dark sphere you can see. And this is the electric bell. Please draw this diagram in your notebook, children. You have to draw this diagram in your notebook of electric bell, and it will be very clear to you all how it is being constructed. So working of an electric bell, how it works. An electric bell consists of an electromagnet. The switch we press is used to make the circuit complete. So here you are using a switch over here, that is K. So that is going to complete the circuit. When it is closed, when it is open, the circuit will be incomplete and the current will stop flowing. So when you are pressing the switch, that means you are putting in on position. That means you are completing the circuit. That gong will hit the surface B, that is a metal surface, and that will make sound. And when you release the pressure, when you release the switch button, it will no more ring. That means you are just releasing the pressure and you are opening the circuit. That means the circuit will be incomplete, current will not flow. So all that explanation is over here. So the working of the bell is illustrated below with the when the switch key is pressed, current flows through the circuit. Please draw the diagram, children. Then this explanation become clear with you all, because whatever label in the diagram is explained clearly in these steps over here. How an electric bell work. So the first point over here, the electromagnet E is powered and generates a magnetic field that attracts the iron strip towards it. So here you have electromagnet E, U shape you can see. The strikers strike the gong or bell B. So you has told you the bell B is a metal-like surface, and the gong is a you have seen the dark color metallic sphere shown below the bell. And when the striking arm strike the gong, the contact at T is broken and the current stop flowing through the circuit. This causes the electromagnet to lose its magnetic field. The connected spring arm returns the striker to his original rest position. The contact is restored and the current flows through the circuit, provided the main switch is still pressed. So if you continue to press, it will continue to pass electricity and it will continue to ring. Once you release the pressure, the key is open and that will break the circuit. And the process is repeated again till the switch K is made open. Please write down all the points. What are the hazards of electricity? You are learning about electricity. You have learned the heating effect of electric current. You have learned about the magnetic effect of electric current. You should know what are the hazards associated with electricity. How are you going to deal with electricity? Electricity can be hazardous as it can cause a fire due to heating or loss of life. The fire broke out due to electricity, or when any short circuit happen, or there's a fire due to electricity, it spreads very fast because you find that electrical connection all over, and that live wire catches live wire in the sense it has current and the heat pass very fast. In no time the fire will spread like anything. An electric circuit must be properly insulated. If the insulation breaks and wire comes in contact with each other, they can cause a short circuit, which may give electric shock when touched. So you have learned about the electric short circuit. You have learned about the fuse, which will help us to take care of the short circuits. And these are the hazards associated with electric current, and we need to be very careful. You need to deal with electricity very carefully. I hope this is very clear. So here we come to an end of the session, children. I hope the session was interesting to you all, and please draw the diagrams and the notes suggested to you all, children. Thank you and have a wonderful day.